So we're here in Brecon as part of the Smart Town projects, and what we're doing today is we're doing a survey of the whole of Brecon to see how much LoRaWAN signal that we have in the town. The signal strength is really important because the sensors that we are going to be installing in some of the businesses here require that signal to send their information back to the internet and to appear on a dashboard on the business owners' phones. So the reason that some of these sensors are really useful to businesses is items like footfall sensors within the business themselves can count the number of people going in and out of the business premises. And this is really useful to understand how busy that particular premise is, particularly say a cafe. And then the business owner can then use that footfall information versus till takings to understand whether more people coming in actually generate more revenue, or whether less people in but staying longer actually generate more revenue. And this is really, really interesting from a business profitability perspective. Another thing we're planning to monitor is the air quality within business premises, again, particularly with cafes. High levels of CO2 mean that there are low levels of oxygen, and that means that the air quality is fairly poor. So the sensor can send a notification to the business owner to say that air quality is poor, and they may take some action such as opening windows or doors to allow better circulation of air in that environment to allow their customers to have a much better experience. So our next job is to do a survey of some of these streets in Brecon to make sure that we have enough LoRaWAN signal in the town that we can use for the sensors to allow the sensors to send their information back to the internet. So let's go and do that. So we've started our survey here in Brecon for LoRaWAN coverage, and this is what we have so far. So on each of the streets here we see a number of dots, and each dot represents the signal strength at each part of the town that I've been to. So colour of orange means that the signal is okay. If it was red it would not be so good. The green one up here means a very good signal. So the way that it works is that when I press the button here on my survey tool, it sends out a signal to the LoRaWAN network and then updates the position. It gives me some technical information here in this box. It also shows me the position of the gateway that my device is talking to. So if I go out to the other screen, I can see that here we are here on the left, and then the LoRaWAN gateway is over here on top of a council building, about nearly half a mile away. So that's quite impressive in terms of radio coverage. Okay, so we're in a fairly narrow street here. The signal strength is not brilliant. I think that's coming up red on my map here. So this is probably not a great place for a sensor. We can try high up just to see whether we got a signal anywhere at all around here. Okay, it's just gone into the yellow, but it's not great, not ideal. Okay, so this position looks a bit better. We're in the yellow, and this will be a good position for some sensors in the shop. So we've come outside the town now to have a look at some of this area here. And we're going to look at monitoring this bin. So sensor will go underneath here, and so let's see whether we've got a good signal strength. And yes, it's coming up orange, so that will be a good place for a sensor right here to monitor the level of the bin. So we've completed the survey now here in Brecon, and the overall coverage for the town is really very good. The gateway, which is about half a mile behind me, is providing really good coverage for the whole of the town. And this is going to be really good for a number of sensors that we want to put into some of the shops. So the next steps now will be for us to go in and install the sensors and then monitor the data that comes through onto the app, and then talk about this with the business owners so they can actually start to make some changes to their business to generate that economic regeneration we talked about. Thank you.